start off goes back. One thing you want to make sure you always do, if you don't have your arms hooked in, is that your weight's sitting back and down on it. If it's too far forward, then he's going to buck you off and throw you off. So I always like to sit back, even if I've got this. That way, if it does buck me off, I'm not going to fall forward and get thrown off. On this particular move, sometimes I like to put this knee down. So I've got one knee up, one knee down. I've still got both my hooks in. Always got, when I do this, I've always got one hand out. It's still very difficult for him to escape because I'm going to have this hand come underneath his armpit and on his wrist. Okay, and even though it looks like I'm leaning forward, I'm still trying to sit back. My hips are still sitting back and my weight is going back this way. And I'm using this hand to push my way back. Right, so now if he tries to butt me off, it's very difficult. And what I'm going to do here with this hand, just so you guys can see, I'm doing this, as we do when you push the hand down, flatten out. Got my base here, I'm down on one knee and I'm up off of this knee. You don't have to do this, you can have both knees down if you want, but I find it's easier, I get a better angle. So I'm coming underneath here, and I'm going to start pushing this hand down and pushing his elbow up. Okay? Now, usually when people come underneath the armpits, and they push this down and they start pushing the hips in to them to start trying to flatten them out. They just do it straight forward. And the problem is, he can still defend the choke, he can still defend and try and buck if you do that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to push his arm down and I'm going to push this way with my hips and my weight and try and flatten them out at an angle. And it should, because I'm pushing this hand on the floor, it should make things a bit easier. He's already going flat. Now what I want to do, come up, come down, as you will. What I want to do is I want to come underneath here, start flattening them out, and come around here, into my triangle. Now what you can do is, as you transition into that position, grab your shin, pull yourself around. However, I didn't need to then. What I do here is I'm going to put this onto the hip, and get my angle and lock it up. Now because of the angle I've just come from, sometimes it's quite an awkward angle. I can't quite, there's too much space here, I can't quite get the triangle locked in properly on his neck. So I'm going to take this arm, I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to close it, and it should close a lot tighter. As it wasn't quite perpendicular on his neck. Didn't quite have the right angle that I wanted, there's too much space here. When I stretch this arm up, get my angle and then put it back, it's a lot tighter. Actually, if you've got the right angle, you don't really need the arm across the throat to make it effective. But it does make it easier to finish. So, I've got my hooks in, I've got it back. I'm going to put this hand on the floor as I come underneath his armpit and grab his wrist. I push this down. I don't necessarily need to flatten out here, I just find it makes it easier. What I'm doing here, as I'm pushing this down, this is making way for my right leg to come out here. To the triangle. What he's most concerned about is just me not getting the rear naked choke and just escaping this really bad, but this is the worst position to be in MMA. And grabbing. So he's going to be concerned with posturing up and turning into me and getting out. So if the choke, the rear naked choke is not available, you can't get it, there's always this. It's a little bit risky because, you know, I don't like to give up top position. And if you screw this up, he's on something guard and you've just given up the back. So if there's going to be a move that you're going to use, you've got to put a lot of reps in. Get it perfect in the gym before you try it in competition, just like anything else. So, yeah, hand is at the base, I'm on my right knee, I'm off my left knee, and I come underneath here. If I'm looking for the choke, the rear naked choke, I will really flatten them out this way, never straight forward. And I can start attacking the rear naked choke. If I want to go for the triangle, I want so much, I will just try and push this hand down to make space for my leg. Another reason why I'm down on my right knee is it does make it just a little bit easier for the leg to come up. And just keep in mind, what I'm doing there is I'm opening my legs and sliding it up, like so. Now anytime we've got a triangle and we're in this position and we open our legs, there's space and there's daylight there for him to escape and posture up. You have to be dead quick in locking up and closing it and bringing his posture down. For any point, even if I've got the head, if I let go here, posture up, I can't really stop that. So when you transition into this position, this triangle position, this position where we're threatening the triangle, you've got to either lock the ankles up straight away or come here straight away. You can't just leave your legs open like that because he'll just pop right up, even if you have the head. You won't be able to stop that. Right, so when you first transition to this position from the back, you're going to end up somewhere like this, where I'm at the complete opposite angle that I need to be. I need my hips to be facing a different direction, so I'm going to either grab the wrist, pull his arm this way, and lock it up like so, now on the correct angle. Or, I'm going to grab my shin, grab his head, put the foot on the hip, get my angle, and close. But what you want to do this quickly, because if he grabs his own hand and pulls that in dead tight, because his head, now it's going to be very difficult. It's still possible, but it's a lot more difficult. Okay? So you want to do this quickly. Either grab the wrist, so grab the hand and the wrist, pull it up, and then get your angle. Or grab a shin, foot on the hip, and get your angle. Still not as far around as I'd like to be. I like to be all the way around here, and then the triangle is going to be dead easy. Yep. One more time. So, down on one knee, off of one knee. My hand facing out, and I'm coming underneath his armpit and grabbing his wrist. I'm going to push that wrist down. I've got two choices. Flatten him out and start rolling, attack the rear naked choke. And you want to get this as soon as possible. All the way to the triangle. Just be very aware that it can be a risky move. You're giving up top position. So you don't try this unless you're in a match or anything, unless you're confident. Because it can be risky. Everything's always easier from on top, and you're much safer on top. Pushing this down. Still more of an angle. Come underneath, pull yourself around. Triangle, okay? Triangle from now. What I don't want to do is have my hips on his hips. See, I'm really low, I've got low mounts at the moment. This is not good because when he bucks me off, the hips are connected to his and it's going to send me up. But also, when I go for the triangle, I'm going to try and get this leg around his neck. It's got a long distance to travel. So when you do the triangle from here, you're going to grab the wrist with one hand and you're going to pull his head up with the other. Now, the problem from doing it down here is got a long way to go. I'm off balance. So what you want to do, start moving up, and then you're ready to attack here. You can grab the head, grab the wrist, and you've got two options. You can push push the chair, the fist to his chest, and go over the top. Or if he really resists and puts his hand out, you can through the middle. So now, as soon as you're here, do not roll, because like I always say, you don't want to give up top position. Now, I've done this in pro fights and my views on it has completely changed. I do not want to give up top position no matter what, because everything's easy from the top. From on top I can bully my opponent quite easily, I can punch him, and everything's more tiring when you're underneath being crushed. So pull this across, that should be really easy from here. And what most guys will do to try and finish the choke from here is they'll try and just pull the head up. That may work, but it's really inefficient. What you want to do is and this is what we do on the bottom, is try and get an angle. And just pulling his head straight up is no different than doing it on my back. So what I want to do is bring this arm in front, and I'll come around like this. Then you can close it up and start pulling the head up from here. You can close it if you want, make it a bit tighter. And I didn't mess about with the head with my hand as well. Okay, so you want to be down low, you want to be coming up tall. If I've got my hands on the floor for balance, if he does start hooking, trying to overhook, then you know the swing. Swing. And do it again, this one. If you swing, if you try to get deep, you're going to swing with your shoulder as well. Don't just do this, use your shoulder to do it. Okay, and come up tall. And this is separating his elbows away from his body, so his arms are going to be weak. You're going to grab the wrist, you're going to grab the head. While you're here, you can set this up from here, from S round, make it a little bit easier to throw this over. You've got to pick the head up, otherwise there's going to be no space for your legs to go. You're either going to push this in and go over the top, or if you resist and push his arm out, you go through the middle. But you don't have to be in a rush to lock this up. I'll put this knee against my foot, there's no rush. This should be dead easy, and push this across here. And I'm going to come like so, and I'm going to be trying to push this across. Go across by pushing my rib this way. And from there, you can work to put the head up this way. Look it up. Not straight up. Going at an angle and then squeezing. Very, very tight. Much better than just pulling up. And this is why a lot of guys will roll to their back, because they don't know how to finish it properly from here. They just try and pull the head up and squeeze the legs and wonder what's not working. Much easier when you just lean this way. So I come up tall, grab his wrist, I'm going to grab the head with the S mount if I want. I'm going to either pin this to his chest, or he's going to push out. Goes out, goes through the middle. I managed to get it there. Coming around, nice and easy. If his arm does get trapped in there, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. Once I'm here, I can try and finish the choke like so. You don't have to lock up the legs, it definitely helps. And you lean this way, squeeze, and you can pull the head up from there if you need to.